Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Afterwards podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Agundis.
I'm Murray Bell.
And I'm Casey Pechtel.
And sorry, I was reading a text from my mother. We're doing receivers today. We're getting right into it. Just ready to rock. We're doing top 30 receivers. Because Casey, why are we doing top 30 receivers?
There's just too many receivers.
Okay. Plain and simple. Let's start. Who wants to start this time?
We'll go reverse. We'll go Casey, me, you this time.
Okay. Makes it easier. It was kind of hard to read it from the car the last pod, but starting it off at the 30, we got Chris Godwin. 29, Christian Kirk. 28, Malik Neighbors. 27, Stephon Diggs. 26, Zay Flowers.
Okay.
At 30, I have Tank Dell. At 29, I got Godwin. 28, I have Amari Cooper. 27, Calvin Ridley. And 26, T. Higgins.
Wait. You said you don't like Calvin Ridley.
He's my number 27 receiver. I don't.
I feel like that's higher than most people have him.
I think there's like a slim chance Will Levis is sneaky.
Yeah, he could be sneaky. I think he could just be the kind of guy who just bombs the ball around, like a worse Josh Allen kind of.
Yeah,
and I think Ridley could be a nice little product of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like we discussed it with the running backs last week, where it's like somebody's got to do something on that team.
Yeah, with DeAndre Hopkins out too.
Yeah, like he's the number one, which I think helps because he'll get some good targets. And then when Hopkins comes back, it's nice because then some of the pressure's off him. So,
yep.
I don't know.
So my first five are Tank at 30, Christian Kirk at 29. Same reason who's he gonna throw the ball to? Pickens at 28, Higgins at 27, and Scary Terry at 26.
Okay.
What
do you think about Terry this year? It's always been the quarterback holding him back. You think
somebody's got to catch the ball there? He had 1,000 yards last year with Sam Howell.
Well, and I saw some stat, and I should have written it down because I don't remember exactly what it was.
I think I might be the same stat.
It was on Instagram or something like that, Instagram Reels. He was like getting a lot of deep targets, and Sam was just missing. Was essentially the he was open deep, and Sam was missing a lot. And he, like you said, he still had 1,000 yards. So if Jaden Daniels can just be a little more accurate on the deep ball, I get what you're saying there.
Well, because that's where Terry made his bread and butter. That first year he came into the league
was the deep balls. Yeah,
he'd have 3 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. So yeah,
Casey, you had where did you add Zay a little low? I thought. What's your
I had him at 26.
Oh, so that's not crazy low or anything.
No, I just think they're like. I think he's still going to be good, and he was great last year. But I think their like goal line thing is just going to be it's Derrick Henry. Like, but I mean, Zay's kind of a guy where he can break it loose and get some big yards. So I'm not like worried about him. I don't know. There's some guys ahead of him that I like a little bit better.
He didn't make my top 30, by the way.
Really? Zay didn't make your top 30.
Yeah. And they're gonna run the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, top 30.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got anything else, or should we move on? 25, 21.
Hit it with 25.
All right, at 25, I have Pickens. At 24, I have T. Higgins. At 23, I have DK. 22, Amari Cooper. 21, DJ Moore.
You got DK a lot lower than I have DK.
I don't know. DK, he's a good receiver. I think he's gonna do like similar stuff he did last year. I'd be happy to have him. I just some of the guys ahead of him, like I said before, I like a little bit better.
It's not as much about him as it are. There's just a lot of guys
Yeah,
who
no, I don't have issues with DK. Um, like I wouldn't be mad if I got DK as my wide receiver too. You know, I would be totally okay with that.
starting at 25. That's where I have Nabbers. 24 Waddle, 23 Stefan, 22 Cooper Cup, 21 Devonta Smith. What I noticed with this group is it's just for me, it's just like a lot of guys that are the number 2 option on their team. You know, Devonta, I think, is 2 to AJ. Cup, I think he's 2 to Puka. Diggs, I definitely think that he's number 2 on that team to Collins. And even with Tank Dell there, like we kind of talked about, 5 receiver ones is tricky. And then Waddle 2 to Tyreek. So for me, that's kind of where this group fell. But I will say, I know I have him at 25. I like Nabers a lot this year, though.
Yeah, I mean, if Daniel Jones can throw a pass to him, be good.
You guys been seeing the stuff out of their joint practices?
Dude, it's crazy. They're
This
just
looks like a UFC card. They're just fighting everybody. Them in the lot is this crazy.
Yeah. So at 25, I have Diggs, and then I go to Neighbors. Then I have Amari at 23, Devonta at 22, and DK at 21. Kind of same thing, Murray, as you with Devonta Smith. He's the number 2. Like he's still gonna have good games. It's just not as productive as AJ Brown.
And now, just because you've brought up Amari Cooper, now I had him earlier. What with the it seems like the package that I'm hearing, if the Browns are the Ayuk partner, is Amari would go to San Francisco in that trade. For both of you, how would that affect Amari's stock in your mind, up or down?
I think up.
He skyrockets.
Certainly, I think right now he was so good when they had Flacco throwing the ball, as Watson was the questionable thing.
Yeah.
But I think even just going into that offense, and I guess I don't know if he'd be the 1 or 2 with Debo there, but he'd be the more kind of like conventional wide receiver, and Debo would be their little gadget knife that can do it all. But I think he'd be so good. I think he'd almost jump to where people have Ayuk right now, or even a little bit higher than that.
I think crack. I have him at 28 right now. I think I'd probably have him top 15.
I have Ayuk at 17, and I'd feel good putting Amari at it, like them pretty much switching places.
Yeah, and I think that it would if Ayuk, the 2 teams I've heard him to have been so far, like New England and Cleveland, are the 2 getting the most traction.
I heard Steelers getting some buzz too.
I heard that it died out and then it started back up today.
Yeah.
But either way, I think his stock dramatically drops if he goes.
Part of the reason he was so good last year is because you just didn't know who was getting the ball.
Yeah, you could literally never double team him.
Yeah. Then does Purdy's stock go lower if he loses one of his weapons?
No, because if he gets Cooper back.
Yeah. Okay. No. Say Ayuk goes.
Yeah, like for New England, it's been Kendrick Bourne is the guy I've heard.
Didn't Bourne start in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not with Brock, obviously.
No, not with Brock. I don't think it changes Purdy a ton unless like Debo goes down.
They have too many weapons for me to.
I think it would be hilarious though if Ayuk made all this big fuss and then they just ship him off to New England.
Dude, I don't even. Patriot fans are like, "Oh, let's go get him." I don't want him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have money tied up into someone who I think he was good last year, but I think he was a big product of the system. Mm-hmm. And we're in rebuild mode. I don't need him right now.
He's also a product of he wanted that money.
Yeah. Yeah. He wanted I don't want. Yeah.
I heard some. I just was watching TikToks today when I was taking my 15-minute pre-pod poop. Uh, that why didn't the Chargers go grab him?
Yeah, I mean they should. They
Like
absolutely should. They need receivers.
he'd be the guy there. But
Yeah, that would make sense.
mhm.
We're at 20 now.
20 to 16, yes.
All right. At 20, I got Devontae Smith. 19, I have Nico Collins. 18, Drake London. 17, Debo. 16, Mike Evans.
Okay. You have London low.
Yeah, you're low on London. I also
Well, I think if I was
get
looking
it.
at it like this, like I see it, most of the rankings have London real high, but after the draft, would I be happier if I had London or Debo as my like wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1? I think I'd be happier with Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
And I mean that's like right where he was ranked around. Like
you had Debo pretty significantly lower than I had him as well.
I wanted to put, I guess honestly I would probably rather have Debo than Evans.
I'm curious to hear how your list, your top 15 or so shakes up. At 20, I have Zay. At 19, I have DJ. 18, Ayuk, obviously pending a lot of stuff. 17, Nico, and 16, I got Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay.
He
was a tough guy to put in my rankings. I really had no idea where to put him just because of everything going on.
Yeah, and that's just I kind of put him in there because I don't think his stock really changes too much if he goes anywhere, because if he gets sent off to Cleveland, or if he New England, Pittsburgh, I think just because he'll be wide receiver 1 any of those 3 places, his targets and receptions will probably be pretty high. So even though he's not going to get as favorable of matchups as he's getting in San Francisco, I still think that the numbers will be relatively the same. There were just a lot of guys on here with like question marks. Marvin, what's he going to look like? DJ, what's he going to look like? Nico, kind of, we've talked about the Houston wide receiver situation. So again, those are just some question marks. That's kind of a lot of these wide receivers where it's just a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got DJ Moore at 20, Nico Collins at 19, Jalen Waddle at 18, Ayuk at 17, and Cooper Kupp at 16. Because I think him and I'd put a nice, $10 bet on that Cooper Kupp and Puka have about the same numbers this year. Combined. Not combined, but like together. I think Cooper Kupp makes a little comeback, and I think Puka is not going to have as good of a season that he will. I still think he's going to have. I still think they're going to have a good season, but part of the reason Puka had a great season last year was that Cooper Kupp went down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Kupp a lot this year.
And I saw that Puka, it sounds like he should be fine, but he got a little banged up at practice this week.
Yeah, he landed funny. I saw the video.
So it just goes, and you're questioning health all year long, and it's not something you want to be doing.
Yeah. 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 I got a lot of those guys like that. Those kind of guys are my, I don't know. DJ Moore, like that, the 16 to 22 ish. Like I could draft any of those guys in the same spot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like it's just So.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's kind of a teardrop there from the top guys.
But then in my opinion, right here, right around 15, it starts picking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess I'll start it off at 15. I have Cooper Kupp at 15. I'm hoping for a big resurgence from him. Ayuk at 14, Jalen Waddle at 13, Pittman at 12, Marv at 11.
So you're high on Waddle.
I am. He's had 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 years in the league. He only had 4 touchdowns last year. He had 8 the year before. I think that number is just kind of bound to increase. And I mean, the 1,000 yards in 3 years, maybe he's another Mike Evans kind of guy where he maybe not as many touchdowns, but just consistent. You put up the numbers. I'm hoping for a big year from him.
My only concern with him is where he's a clear-cut number 2 with a quarterback I don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
And
their whole thing is just speed. Like, get the ball to those guys and just let them run.
Absolutely.
I like that with Waddle.
And if Tua is good and healthy all year, like he was for the majority of last year, then I think that works out.
But he still wasn't Jalen Waddle still wasn't getting a lot last year. Like week to week fantasy wise, he wasn't getting a lot. Like he was a very up and very
boom
like
bust guy.
he was boom bust last year.
But I mean, hey, you can't argue with the over 1,000 yards. Like the numbers are there. The numbers are there.
Yeah.
15 through 11, I got DK, and I think DK could be even a little higher come draft time. Just that's where I'm sticking him right now. Drake London at 14, Mike Evans at 13, Debo at 12, and Pittman at 11.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about Drake London?
I have hated Drake London every year before this year. And I said it a few weeks ago, and I'm a little worried about it. I'm buying into the Falcons a little bit this year, more so than I ever have. I've done a pretty good job I've never drafted Pitts before. I never drafted Drake London. I didn't like Bijan last year. Like a lot of these guys that they're playmakers on their team, I've gone out of my way to avoid, just because with offenses, even if it's a running back, I don't like drafting players where I don't like their quarterback. I just feel like it ruins the flow of the offense, and it's hard for them to consistently produce. And the Falcons have never had a quarterback since Matt Ryan, really, that I've liked. Well, now, and he's coming off injury, so it's a little questionable, but I like Cousins.
I also like Penix, too, if he ever gets
I've heard only positive things so far out of that. So no matter who it is, it just seems like they actually have a quarterback I trust a little bit. So this could be the year where I'm not going to reach for any of these Falcons guys, but before they were kind of on like a no draft list for me, and they're definitely not on that this year.
You know who I got? I got in a trade for Drake London. I received Drake London. Do you know who I traded last year for Drake London? Damian Pierce.
Okay. It's a good trade.
Got him for free.
Yeah.
It's a good trade.
Yeah. London also he had 2 touchdowns last year. So quarterback play, like if he has 2 touchdowns again, that would be just crazy with a much better QB.
Right.
My 15 through 11 is Debo at 15, Mike Evans at 14, Chris Olave at 13, and Drake London at 12, and Pittman at 11. Chris, I don't see him having a better season than he did last year.
No, I'm not.
I don't
excited about him either.
Like, if those are the only 2 receiver, if I have 2 running backs already, and beginning of the 3rd round, because that's where they're going on sleeper, end of second. If I have 2 running backs already, I will take a 3rd. I did a mock draft today and just took 3 running backs right off the bat because I didn't like the receivers that were there.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Because those 3 running backs are going to be in your starting lineup every week.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you who, Murray, because I'm in a league with you. And I was drafting in a
couple leagues.
We're in a few. 4? Well, if we're doing the All Pros League, it's 4.
Yeah, All Pros, Buddies, Dynasty, 4.
Any Nevada league that I have, from people that I've met in Nevada, I'm in the league with you. So
yeah. Top 10 time.
top 10 time.
All right.
10 case.
I got Olave at 10. I think I don't know, the start of the season last year, he was catching and getting targeted just so much. And I don't know, I think if he can do that same thing this year, I mean, I play in PPR leagues, so at least my main league. I don't know. I just like that safe floor where you catch a lot of balls, you bring in the points.
Who
So he's
doesn't play PPR league?
I think Murray's anti PPR.
No, I am very pro half point PPR.
That's what it is. He's pro half. I'm pro
Have
full.
you ever played in a standard league? I used
Not
to do the standard league. It was electric.
We used to do standard.
I used standard, but I'd have a bunch of bonuses, so it evened out.
Full point gets a little overpowered in my opinion. I just feel like it has too much, like it plays too big of a role in drafting. I think half point is the perfect middle ground.
Yeah, that's what I guess.
I will not play in a standard league. I will go full point 10 out of 10 times before I do standard.
Yeah.
The last year that I was a commissioner, it was full point PPR. Every touchdown was 6 points. So it didn't matter what you scored, it was 6 points. So quarterbacks were at a premium, and I had bonuses. It was getting up into like the 170s, 180s.
That's a lot of points.
It was a lot. It was super fun.
Are we doing top 10 one by one?
Yes.
I also have Olave at 10 for just kind of the same reasons that Casey said. I don't love him this year, but I think that there is a chance that the Saints are still solid, and I am kind of holding out hope. He's by far wide receiver one. I'm done. I don't even know if Michael Thomas is there anymore.
He's not.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I there's no other receiver on the Saints that I even slightly trust. Yeah, exactly. I don't trust him. So I think Olave is going to get a lot of targets, and there's the potential for a good year. I would say he's the last guy. Everyone above him here, I would be comfortable being my wide receiver one / happy with. Olave, like you said, unless I'm going triple running back, I don't want him to be my wide receiver one.
Yeah. Yeah, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 10.
Oh, so you're buying into the hype.
I also, okay, if Kyler turns out to be the Kyler that everybody thinks he is, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride are going to benefit the most. And
yeah.
Somebody's got to score there.
Yeah, my biggest issue with that is I don't trust Kyler. I don't think that we're going to see anything special. But
back up.
We've seen Kyler support top guys. Like he supported Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins that's if
for a while.
If Hopkins, if Marvin Harrison can have not like Hopkins that one year he went crazy, but like a Hopkins like 2 years ago or last year he was on the Cardinals or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if he can have a pretty good season, I'm comfortable. But I'm also in that same boat as him and my next guy that I have, my 9 and 10 spot. I am not very comfortable with having them as my wide receiver one. I'd be comfortable taking one of my top 8 and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I got Garrett Wilson at my 9. He's just kind of, it's always how good would he be with a great quarterback? But I don't know. I feel like Murray, what you got to say about that?
That's a little low.
Yeah.
No, I know it is.
Some Pudge heard that bullshit too. He's upset now.
But a fan of it. Yeah, Murray, I know you really bought into the Jets. I would just like to see him like do something for a full season, before I draft for one.
Did the White Sox win tonight? Is that what I just heard?
Oh, they were winning.
I think I just heard that the White Sox won tonight.
God, they were at that point. You just gotta.
Yeah, 5-1, bottom of the ninth. They got it.
Yeah. Murray, you're number 9.
At my 9, I have Devontae Adams. I think, and I don't like what I'm hearing, because I'm hearing that O'Connell is beating out Minshew right now, which is not what I want to be hearing. But I think the Raiders offense could be sneaky good. And for them to be good, it's got to come from Devontae. And he's still a premier route runner in the league. He's going to be open. After watching this receiver show, just throw him the damn ball.
He did well with O'Connell, though, didn't he?
No, he did. He did. I think with Minshew, like, I think he could end up being a top 5 receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if
Minshew's a little more riskier, I think.
Yeah, a little more boom or bust for the Raiders offense as a whole. But I think I like Devontae a lot. I think I'd be comfortable with him as my wide receiver 1. He's start him and everything up. I'd be cool with. And yeah, my thing with him too is I just think his floor is pretty high as well. Where I think even if him having a bad year, he's still going to be a top 15 receiver, I feel like. Which isn't what you necessarily want out of, your wide receiver 1. But I think, I like where he's at, and I think he'll have a good year this year.
Yeah. When I meant Minshew's riskier, I meant that he makes riskier throws.
Yeah.
Not so much. I was just trying to clear that up.
No, I think with Devon, because if Minshew's in there, we're looking at the possibility of more turnovers.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you saw he turned
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So I got Puka at 9. I mean, that's where everybody's got him, and I kind of like him there. I don't necessarily might not take him, but that early second round, I think they're like, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think he'll probably have around the same year as he did last year, like I said before. Maybe a little worse, but still, he had a great season last year. So, if he has a good season, he's going to still be a top receiver. But I know that one of the Fresno guys is going to take him in the first round, so I'm not going to have to worry about him in that league.
Take the choice out of your hands.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about him. Yeah, that's what I got on Puka. So,
yep, I got Puka coming in at the what are we at? The 8?
Yeah.
Kind of same as you, Joe. I think if he has the same season he had last year, if that's what we're banking on, I'd almost take him over like AJ Brown. But I mean, last season's gonna be hard to repeat. Even with a little regression, he's still gonna be a great wide receiver. Also similar situation. I got a guy who traded down so he can get Puka and Kyron on the same team.
That's legit what Adam's going to do. I already know what Adam's going to do. If he gets a late pick, he's going to take Kyron and Puka.
Yeah, so I'm honestly like I haven't even looked at Puka just because I know that this guy's going to take him. But yeah, I think Puka's a stud. As long as that injury doesn't bug him, I'm fine with getting him right there.
Yeah.
At my 8, I have AJ Brown. I mean, look, he's great. My issue with him is just a lot of weeks you just are seeing like a low number of receptions. He's not like a huge PPR guy. He's not going to be that guy that's going to make up for a bad game, but still had 7 receptions. So, you kind of, for him to, he's got to have some big
yardage.
Yeah. but at the end of the day, he still is a wide receiver one. He's a very good receiver with a quarterback I really like. The reason he's not higher is I just think that they might be running the ball a little bit more than they have in the past. So I think that that target number is my really only question mark with him. But yeah, I like AJ a lot.
All right. I have Devontae at 8. We kind of already touched on why we like him. I think whatever quarterback they throw out there, he's going to be fine. They also said that I was watching an interview with Brian Hoyer, and they said that the team respects Aiden O'Connell a lot, and I think that's why he's doing the first team reps, and he's, I don't know, he's being the first team guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have that connection between if Devontae respects him and he respects Devontae, which I'm assuming he does because it's Devontae Adams, I think they'll have a good connection and he'll, I'll take Devontae as my number 1.
Yep. Yeah, I got Devontae coming in at my 7. I think similar to what you guys touched on before, his floor is just it's pretty high. Like I think his worst possible year is like maybe better than some of these guys like AJ Brown and them, but he's just a consistent guy. He's always open. And yeah, I mean he played pretty well with O'Connell. So I think however the quarterback situation ends up, he'll be all right.
Yep. At 7, I got Puka. The reason why I have him ahead of some of these guys is just his target and reception numbers. I mean, the dude is just a PPR god. He's just catching so many passes. The concerns with him are, could Kupp take over as wide receiver 1 there? And can he stay healthy? But I feel like he'll only get better, and him and Stafford will only get on a better level. Everything I've heard about him, like work ethic wise, has been very positive. So if that's the case, I really only see him progressing. I don't see there being any regression unless he gets banged up a little bit. So I got Puka at 7.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I have AJ Brown at 7 because, well, honestly, I was telling my dad my top 10 today, and he goes, "What are you smoking?" Out of the one the guy originally had at 7. So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna put AJ Brown at 7 now." So I have AJ Brown at 7. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of AJ Brown. I just like there's no way I don't want to take him that early just because he could be a dud.
I agree.
Have a dud season because he's got a little vibe vampire in him.
He's a diva.
He's got a little bit of that vibe vampire. He was getting all mad last year.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't getting the ball, and then he got the ball and he was just like going off. But that's what scares me is if he doesn't get the ball and he gets a little unhappy.
I wouldn't draft him at his current ADP.
No.
But he's also not someone where, like, if he had fallen to me, I wouldn't take him. Like, I'm not opposed to doing it. He's going a little higher than my liking right now.
Yeah, like I'm thinking if you have the 6th pick,
mm-hmm.
and he falls to that whatever pick that would be.
What I feel like
2nd round.
Where he's being.
Yeah, that's what I was. What are you saying? You break it up.
That's not where he's being projected right now. I feel like it fell to like the turn. Like I would take him around there.
He's falling to the turn. And in every draft I've seen him, he's either gone 9, 10, or 11 or 12.
I'll say he wouldn't be my first round pick.
No. He wouldn't be my first round pick.
I could take him almost anywhere in the 2nd. Obviously, if you're later in the 2nd and he falls to you, that's awesome. But yeah, if you're an early 2nd round pick, I don't hate him there. But I agree. I don't love AJ.
I don't love AJ.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 6, Casey.
My number 6, I got AJ Brown. Yeah, we've got a couple AJ Browns rolling
The
through here.
last.
But I mean, same deal. Like he's kind of a boomer bust kind of guy. His big weeks, he'll have 11 catches and a touchdown and 130 yards, and then he'll post a couple duds, and he'll complain. And yeah, that diva in him. I never like having those guys on my team.
Oh, you don't need bad vibes on your team.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's a good receiver. Like just like we talked, that's where I would take him. And yeah, that's about it.
I'm gonna draft a team of all Vibe Vampires and call the team Vibe Vampires and see how many games I can win.
I mean, you could have. That's the thing is like, you could have a good team with that.
Yeah.
You could have a good team, yeah.
Like if your receivers
I
are
just don't know
Brown and Stephon Diggs, that could really work out. That could really work out.
Who would be my running backs though? DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, and I don't know, someone else that sucks.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard or something.
Yeah.
At 6, I have Garrett Wilson. I just am. He's going to be wide receiver 1 on what I believe is going to be a top 5 offense this year. So I love him. I think that for the first time, and he's been good, and he has had some of the worst starting quarterback play in football. So God forbid Aaron Rodgers' leg explodes on the 5th snap of the game again.
That guy, he's back.
Yeah.
He's on the Niners.
Who?
Leonard Floyd.
Got him when he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
They play Monday night again, and that guy's on the Niners now.
I hope Aaron Rodgers throws for 5 touchdowns, and 3 of them go to Garrett. 3 of them go to Garrett Wilson, and 2 of them go to Brees.
But yeah, I think he's going to be, like I just said, he's been really good with bad quarterbacks. He finally has a good quarterback who I hope is healthy this entire season, and I like him a lot.
All right.
I also have Garrett Wilson at 6. That is the man that my dad told me. He goes, what are you smoking? Because he's super high on Garrett Wilson because that one catch that he had in it was in training camp, but it was on it was a preseason game on Hard Knocks. It was like, you remember that catch? And we were just like, my dad and I both looked at each other. We're like, yeah, he's a 1st-round pick. I almost traded. I'm glad it didn't happen. But before week 1 started, like Sunday morning, I almost traded Derrick Henry for Garrett Wilson because I had Aaron Rodgers. And it didn't go through because one of the guys, he was just like, he got scared and he was like, I think Joseph's trying to screw me. I was like, yeah, kind of. I was, because I knew that Garrett Wilson was going to be good with Aaron Rodgers, and I had Aaron Rodgers, and and then it just absolutely blew up like his Achilles. So I didn't do it, but oh well. I'm super high on Garrett Wilson this year.
I think we're all going to have the same top 5, which I think most people would. I'm just curious to see the order here.
Yeah, so? we do have the same top 5, I believe.
Yeah,
but it's the order that's going to be.
Yeah.
I already know the order.
This is the clear, like crystal clear top 5 wide receivers.
Yeah,
I have Jefferson at 5.
Okay.
Obviously, we know he can be the best. His quarterback play, we don't really know if he's going to get Darnold, Butterfly, Sam Darnold, might I add, or JJ. I mean, I think he's still going to be good either way. He's that good of a receiver. So I'm fine putting him at wide receiver 5. It doesn't tank his value too much.
I have him at 5 for essentially the same reasons. He's going to be amazing. Would I be shocked if he finishes as 1? Absolutely not. But with questions around his health and the quarterback play in Minnesota, I like the 4 guys ahead of him more. But he's 100% a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
I have Jamar Chase at 5. But, you could interchange, I think, 3, 4, and 5 on my list.
I agree.
They're the same. Like, I think it's just, I don't know. Jamar, sometimes he scares me a little bit. Sometimes he scares me. And I think with Jefferson, I think it's just I feel a little more secure with Jefferson than I do Jamar Chase. That's why I have Jamar at 5.
Yep. That's fair. I got Jamar coming in at the 4. I think him and Burrow, with Burrow back this year, I think that connection is going to be hot. I think it's going to be strong. I think they're going to do good things together. It was sad last year with no Burrow.
He hit the Browning machine gun, though. He didn't do that bad. Jake Browning was electric last year.
Yeah. Jake Browning, dude, he was fun to watch, yeah. But still, he's not Burrow. Yeah, I'm just excited to see him back on the field together.
Yeah, I also have Jamar at 4 for, again, basically the reason he's ahead of JJ is I trust Burrow more than I trust either of JJ's quarterbacks. I same thing, could easily be wide receiver 1. With Jamar, the injury concerns aren't with him, it's with his quarterback. But I think that this could be a Bengals year. I think this could be a big Bengals year. So
I thought it was the Bengals year last year.
And he just got hurt.
The football preview last year, I had Jamar, Offensive Player of the Year, Burrow MVP, Bengals winning it all.
But I think that like almost every year, that's if those were your predictions again this year, I'd say that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
If Burrow's healthy, I think that team is as competitive as any. So with that, I like Jamar at the 4, and he could again easily be 3. 4, 5, 3 are all right around the same for me.
Yeah, I have Justin Jefferson at 4. So I'm assuming our top 3 are the same.
They have to be.
Yeah. Murray, like you're feeding into the hype out of Falcons camp. I'm feeding into the hype out of Minnesota Vikings camp. I don't care who starts at quarterback. I think they're going to be better than people think, even with JJ. Yeah. I was watching JJ move around. I was like, ooh, not bad. And then Darnold could throw some dots too. So
especially when Hawkinson comes back a little later in the year,
they'll have a little bit of
Aaron Jones, he's still got some juice in the tank. Great locker room guy too.
Not a vibe vampire.
Not a vibe vampire. Couldn't draft Aaron Jones on my team.
I'm gonna miss the sombreros he used to wear, the Packers sombreros.
Yeah, I love the sombrero.
Dude, right?
I never understood that. What was that about?
I never understood. I never needed to ask. I was like, that's pretty sweet.
I didn't know if there was a backstory there I wasn't aware of.
Could be. I just liked it.
I know it's cool. I didn't strike Aaron Jones as someone of Hispanic Latino heritage. So I could be wrong. And if I am, I apologize to the Aaron Jones and his family. This is kind of my assumption there.
Yeah.
I think it's just an El Paso thing.
Is he from El Paso?
He's from El Paso.
See, there we go. That's as good of a reason as any I need.
You let me go on like that without just saying that right away.
I can't believe you didn't jump in there.
I was also looking at Dodger updates, so I wasn't I was like half there.
I saw it was 4-0 or something like that.
I popped up that Bruiser Gratterall, who I'm not a fan of, by the way. I think when he was the closer last year, I wanted to choke somebody every time he came in. But he'd made his appearance, his first season appearance tonight, and got hurt. So.
How about Kodai? Dude? How about his first appearance?
Who?
Kodai hurt all year from a shoulder thing. First start, calf out for the year.
Fuck. The Red Sox have been dog walking little Bobby shit the last 2 games. Coming for that wild card spot, half a game back now.
Okay. Yeah. What are we? Am I on?
We're Casey's
3. Casey's 3.
quick little baseball intervention. I got Amon-Ra at 3. Dude, he's just a football machine. Like if you watch the Hard Knocks, or not the Hard Knocks, the receiver, he's just a football. Like that's what he does. He's just a football guy. Like he tries to do a touchdown dance in the end zone, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like that. That was the weirdest thing we've ever seen. But all he does is play football, and he plays it damn good. And that he was hurt last year doing all that is like, I think that's pretty impressive too.
Everybody's hurt.
Yeah, but
him,
I mean,
him having hand, foot, and mouth is just crazy.
That shit was crazy.
That's crazy.
That was so gross.
Oh, hand, foot, and mouth is not something to be messed with.
Yeah.
I was like, he wore a mask up in the pre. I don't remember him ever doing that. It's because I was in San Francisco playing golf. So like we walked into the restaurant and the game was already on, so I didn't get to see any of the pregame stuff before golf. Because
I also have Amon at 3. I feel like he's not as good as 1 and 2, but he's damn good. And if he can stay healthy the entire year this year, like I know last year everyone gets banged up and stuff like that, but if he can be a little healthier than last year, big numbers.
Yeah,
big numbers. Big numbers. I have Amon-Ra at 3 as well because we think the same, the 3 of us.
We do.
When we get
consensus rankings, is he higher or lower than the other 2?
Consensus rankings, he's like 5.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'll look at Fantasy Pros right now. Give me 1 second.
Yahoo has him at
like. I don't care about Yahoo.
And I was like,
let's look.
ESPN has him ahead of JJ, but behind Jamar. They have him at 4.
I think, those 3 guys is kind of like interchangeable.
So, Fantasy Pros has Amon-Ra as the wide receiver 3.
Okay.
Fantasy Pros is pretty much my top 10, but Devontae's at. Wow.
Well, you know what? Okay. More important than Fantasy Pros, After the Whistle has him at our consensus number 3.
Yes.
So Fantasy Pros can go kick rocks.
Yep.
I wonder what sleepers got him at. Probably the same as Fantasy Pros.
Don't matter. After the Whistle,
we have him at 3.
Yeah, 3 views. 2. Well, did you guys watch last week's? Because I skipped. So what I do is I skipped until the right amount of time to give us a view, and then I get off of it. That's what I do. So we get a view. But I think Nolan also has given us some views.
There you go.
Nolan might have number 1 fan status.
Shout out, Raj.
I don't know if Aiden's been watching. He usually watches. Casey has been watching. Yeah. Okay, Scott might be the views. What?
I was asking if Scott's been tuning in.
Oh.
I don't know. He might be upset. I beat him 9-1 last week in fantasy baseball. So, and I added 4 pitchers on Sunday to win strikeouts and wins. Just to get those extra.
You're an asshole.
Murray, I tried to do that with us. The guy had like a 10 ERA. I was like,
Ooh. Yeah, he lost 9-1, but he's still the 2 seed. So am I that big an asshole?
No. At this point in the season, it's hard to move seeding.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I did that big
We're
swing.
at 10, Murray, and I don't see us moving.
It's all right. The Bobby D fan club apparently is winning this league.
The Bobby D fan club's a rocket.
So good. Top 2. Let's see who people have at 1 and 2.
Tyreek at 2. I don't think this was very tough for me either. Dude, he's the second fastest man alive behind Ellie De La Cruz. He's a football player, Ellie De La Cruz. He's fast. He's fast. He scores. He runs long ways. He's very good. I don't know what else to say. He's the same Tyreek Hill he's been the last however many years. There's not much else to say. It's right there.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I agree. This was not a very hard decision for me. I have CeeDee Lamb at 2. This wasn't hard for me. I love CD. I think he's going to be awesome. He's not Tyreek Hill.
I kind of agree with you, Murray, but I have Tyreek at 2. But I do agree with you on how on how that could shake out.
And look, it's not, don't get me wrong. CD, I think, is going to be amazing. Phenomenal. I think, like, I started this list with him and Tyreek at 1 and 2, and then the rest was like, okay, let's see how that shakes out. Those were 2 no-brainers to me. But yeah, I'll take the guy that has proved year after year after year that he is the fastest man alive, that
second fastest man alive,
that he is the just absolute stud. I mean, look, he's got dad strength times 8 or whatever it is now.
12, dude.
Times 12. I mean, that's got to count for something. I hate Mike McCarthy. I'm blanking on it. I love the Dolphins coach,
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniels, thank you. I thought it was another MM, which is funny. But yeah, so I got CD at 2, but gonna be great.
Who doesn't love McDaniels? That guy's awesome.
Dude, he's so funny.
Murray, look at your phone. Look at the trade that was just accepted in the Dynasty League.
1 second.
Sorry, I saw it, and that's why I've been like going crazy eyes a little bit.
What's the trade?
Wait.
I want Murray to look at it first.
Where is it? Why is the app not? Oh, wait. I just had it right there. Oh, wait. Am I looking at the right KA Dynasty League?
Yeah.
The last thing I see is that Foreman was dropped and Hill was added.
No. That was 21 hours ago.
Yeah, that's the last thing I see. CJ has proposed a trade to me 9 minutes ago. Proposed a couple to me, actually. What is it? I don't know why I'm not seeing it.
Dominic Fair CJ just traded his 2025 first pick
on
his 2025 pick, and then the 2025 pick he got, first round pick he got from you for Bijan Robinson.
So 2 2025 firsts for Bijan?
Yeah. Wow.
I think Dom's a fucking idiot. God damn it. This is why we can't have nice things.
I mean, I get it for Dom's sake. Dom's team is terrible. And he didn't have any picks this year in the
I guess, yeah. If you're gonna rebuild, just blow.
I think Dom's in a rebuild year. I would have tried to get more, honestly.
Yeah, I would have too.
What do you think, Casey?
Hmm.
For what you're assuming is going to be 2 mid to late round first round picks.
So in my Dynasty League, I traded away. I already had CD, and I had Saquon and Breece Hall and Jalen Hurts, and I traded away all my picks for Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. Like all my picks for 3 years.
You did the Murray strategy. You did the win now.
Why would you not do that?
Did you win at least though?
My first round picks, dude, they took like, I don't know, like this guy took Drake May, and I'm like, bro, I got Tyreek Hill. Like,
did you win though?
Oh, I didn't lose a game.
Okay, good, because I did the same thing. I traded everything away for the next 3 years.
Even my bench.
I beat you. I got you one of those weeks.
I know. I think I only had 3 losses all year last year.
Yeah.
Something like that. So then you got CD at 1, and I got Tyreek at 1.
Yeah, I got the number 1 player overall in PPR leagues of 2023, CD Lamb, and 2024 as well.
You think he's gonna have a repeat?
I think he's gonna be the best player in PPR format again.
You think? See, I'm having a tough time with that one pick, man. That first pick.
What changed over there in Dallas?
The defense.
Nothing with the offense. Why would he not repeat it?
Well, actually, they got rid of Gallup.
Okay.
No Tyron Smith either.
But they do have Jake Ferguson.
Great.
They do. Yeah.
Great.
I like Jake Ferguson.
I know. It's just I don't think that matters when you're talking about CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott.
That guy, like what? 3 garbage time touchdowns.
They're also not gonna have a run game by the week 8 because Zeke's gonna be just barely hanging on.
Zeke's gonna be RB11 this year. Don't worry.
Oh, dude.
Don't worry.
He's gonna be jumping.
I'm not. Listen.
He's gonna be eating all game.
He's gonna be jumping into the Salvation Army basket.
I hope he does that. I hope he does.
But Dak's
trying to be
hitting those hips.
Trying to be realistic here as a Cowboys fan.
No, so they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
No. No, they're not.
Dak's gonna win MVP. And Parsons going to be Defensive Player of the Year. McCarthy will be Coach of the Year, and they'll win the Super Bowl. I don't know what you're worried about.
It's not going to happen. Don't put that into my head, Murray. I'm focusing on.
But why would it?
I'm focusing on fantasy football this year. That is my main focus. It's fantasy and then the Cowboys.
Do we want to do sleepers and busts real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Casey, who you got sleepers?
I got another Cowboys wide receiver, Brandon Cooks. Dude, he is always underrated, and he's always just a reliable guy. You can plug him into your wide receiver 3 flex spot when you need him. He does the job. That's how he's always been. I think he's going to be like that again. And then I got Curtis Samuel. These are like deep sleepers too. You know, they're way down there, but I just think those are guys that, like, Curtis Samuel legitimately could be the wide receiver 1 or 2 in Buffalo. And I think Buffalo's a good offense. He's in a good spot. He's like an older, less of a knife kind of guy than Debo, but like you can give the ball to him, hand it off, you can throw it to him. I think those guys are in decent spots this year, and they're getting drafted super low. So I like where those guys are at.
I only have one sleeper, and it is Xavier Worthy. I think that the Bills might have just handed the Chiefs another Super Bowl by trading them the pick that they took Xavier Worthy with. I think he's going to emerge as wide receiver 1 with the greatest quarterback not named Tom Brady ever. And I think that he's going to put up like similar numbers to what Tyreek Hill was doing in Kansas City. I think he could finish as a top 10 wide receiver, and I wouldn't blink twice.
Yeah. Right. I had Terry on my list, but that was when we were doing when we were doing 25. I just like Terry this year. Another one I got is I think I put Green Bay wide receiver because I think one of them is going to do good, but I think it's going to be where he's getting drafted. I think it's going to be Christian Watson.
Really? I like Dobbs where Dobbs is getting drafted.
I like Christian Watson's the 100. It's like 105 on the total like draft. So,
you know why I think Romeo will be the receiver there?
Why?
They asked Jordan Love, like, draw up your dream play. Like, you can use any.
Oh, I saw this.
And so, of course, he's naming like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and then the only Packer he named, I got Romeo Dub running a fly because that's my dog. He didn't say anyone else.
They're Mountain West guys, man. They're Mountain West guys. I mean, but I think because the Green Bay receivers are, I think somebody's going to be good out of there. That's why I put Green Bay wide receiver. I was just thinking Christian Watson because of how high everybody is on him in the past, and he's never really like played a full season, right? Did he play so? And I think he made Trey Lance look good. I still think that.
Yeah.
Even though he's playing against UC Davis in college. I also have Lad McConkey.
Lad's- I
Lad
like.
McConkey.
I've heard good things.
I love Lad.
Well, it's not Quentin Johnston. I don't care how much Harbaugh tries to trick us.
It's Lad. It's Lad.
Listen to his
Lad.
lies.
It's Lad. I just like where he's going. I also, as a deep sleeper, I just think one of those late round rookies is gonna do something. Whether it's Jalen McMillan or a couple other either two of the Patriots guys.
Do not, Jesus.
Polk
Don't draft any Patriot receivers this year, please.
Polk and Baker.
Nobody draft. If you're listening to this podcast, don't say I didn't warn you.
Douglas for a couple weeks was a PPR monster last year.
He was. Somebody's got to score there, Murray. Somebody's got to score.
I think you're wrong. I don't think anyone has to score.
Somebody's got to score there. What?
They got to make a lot of field goals, is what they're going to do.
The other team is going to score. Whatever defense they're playing against, that's who's going to score.
Okay.
I am getting yelled at, so let's finish up here. Bus.
Okay.
Casey.
Bus.
Yeah. Oh, bus. I got. I have Malik Neighbors. I think he could be a beast. Can you name one fantasy relevant Daniel Jones wide receiver?
Darius Slayton for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, for a whole season though? No, you can't.
This Danny Dimes is different though. I'm gonna adamantly disagree with that take. I love Neighbors.
It's the same Danny Dimes, and he's awful.
No, you know what?
Practices.
You know what?
Caps.
Don't disrespect the Giants quarterback, because do you know who's backing up Danny Dimes this year? One of my favorite backups of all time, Drew Lock. Okay.
I love Drew Lock.
Do you know who beat the Eagles last year? Drew Lock with the Seahawks. Come on. If Danny Dimes doesn't work out or he gets hurt, get Drew Lock going. Electric.
I think Daniel Dimes, whatever, is awful. he's not good. Neighbors could be a beast, and if he can successfully get the ball, sure, that's great. He'll probably be good. But dude, the Giants, it was OBJ the last time they had a good wide receiver.
And I'll tell you what, this is OBJ, wildly overrated. Wildly overrated.
Eli made him. Eli
didn't have that catch against Dallas on Sunday night. Most people wouldn't know who he is.
Look at his best seasons. Tell me the two teams he had his best seasons on?
What was the Giants?
Giants, of course. What was the other team?
Giants.
The Rams.
The Rams.
He was good
at playing quarterback.
Were they all with the Giants?
One of the worst beats in my life. I had bet him to win Super Bowl MVP that year.
As well.
He was going to do it, God damn it. He was going
to do it.
That was so bad. Anyways, my bust, excuse me, is the entire Houston Texans wide receiver room. There's just too many. I don't know who, chances are one of them will be good, but I feel like it's like you got like a 33% chance. You're just hoping to get lucky there. And then my other one, we talked about him a little bit, and I know I had him in the top 10, but Chris Olave, I think the Saints offense is just could be really bad this year.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy where with him being really the only pass catcher there, he could, he's going to get someone's top corner and could be looking at a couple double teams. And I think he might not get the ball as much as I want him to.
I also have Olave as one of my busts. And I also have Brandon Ayuk.
Because look, he gets paid
even if he stays on the Niners, because that means he got paid. If he stayed on the Niners, he's just not going to be – I don't think he's going to be working as hard. I think we're going to get a regression from Brandon Ayuk and from where he's getting drafted, by the way. These are takes that are where these guys are getting drafted.
Yeah.
And I just don't think you should waste a second-round pick on Brandon Ayuk.
Hey, how about the boy Pudge for holding it down tonight and not being a rat?
Have you gotten him a Rodriguez jersey yet?
No, not yet.
Shout out, Pudge.
I need a Texas Rangers Pudge Rodriguez jersey.
I did get show you real quick. Pretty sick.
Where'd you get him? Did you get him that blang?
Yeah. Got
They got that blang.
Dang.
They got that blang. Yeah.
Come here. Put this on.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be the title of the video. Pudge got that blang.
There you go, buddy. Yeah, come here. Come say hi.
Oh,
He's dripped out.
Pudge is dripped out.
You're a good boy during this. I appreciate you.
Love it. Championship quarterfinal. What? We're already in playoffs?
for what?
For the All Pros League.
Fantasy baseball league?
Yeah.
Wait, is that?
Yeah, we are.
No shit.
All right, gentlemen.
You made all eight teams make the playoffs.
I'm out of here.
All right.
Catch you guys
later.
Later.
Everybody. Oh, he left. All right. Well, all right. Love you. Bye.